Otitoju, BKO. I greet you, Jide.
Thank you, citizen.
There's also Emeka Madunagu here. Emeka, I greet you.
Good evening, everybody.
All right, then. So the team is ready. I hope you are. Okay, so let's go. You know, in this season of retooling of our country, meetings of minds are essential to bridge building. Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State had his first private meeting with the president at Presidential Villa in Aso Rock, Abuja, on Thursday. Now, one key element of his deliberation with the big boss is the release of the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, who has been in detention since 2021. Now, according to Governor Mba, his plea is in line with the president's agenda for national healing. Again, to him, the infamous sit-at-home by IPOB remains banned. Representative Atiku's, okay, that's our first story. I'm sorry, I was going to jump to the next one. That's the way to go.
Yes, this is what some of us have been saying for some time. Either on my program, Issues with Jide, on my YouTube program, or on Journalist Hangout, I've repeatedly canvassed the release of Nnamdi Kanu. I've repeatedly demanded for dialogue. I see some people calling me a tribalist on social media because I chose not to believe that I would be won the election. But if I were a tribalist, I won't be asking repeatedly for dialogue in resolving this matter. Yeah. I know people are coming to say, why are you asking for Nnamdi Kanu's release? But that's what I've done. The record is there. I can't even remember how many times on Issues with Jide that I've demanded that, look, it's not in every situation that you resolve issues through the courts or through military intervention. I still believe that, look, if we want peace and if we want true national healing, it's one of the first steps that the administration will take. And I recall that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, during his campaign, made that promise that he would speak with aggrieved people in the southeast so that we can have peace there. No sacrifice is too much for us to achieve lasting peace. And this is my view. My view remains the same on this matter. I'm convinced that we can achieve peace.
Yeah, but the French call it rapprochement.
Yeah, and when we come together to speak, there has to be concessions on both sides.
Yeah.
I expect that Nnamdi Kanu's minders would also tell him that, look, in return for what Nigeria is offering, this is what we want you to do. Give up your armed struggle. Let's behave as brothers and all that. And I think that will go a long way. I really support Governor Mba on this. He's just following up with what Mbazulike, Amechi, and others have done before him. May God bless his soul where he is, First Republic Aviation Minister. So it's a good move that this governor has initiated, and I believe that we'll get there.
Emeka, you know, yes, many people feel hurt at a time like this, especially in the Southeast. So a political victory would be out of place.
Well, it's long overdue anyway, because when you go to the Southeast, a lot of things are not just in place. People are weary, people are tired, people are suspicious of security agents are suspicious of the people, and then people keep accusing the security agents of doing a number of horrible things to the people. You know, now, what's on everybody's mind is that let Nnamdi Kanu be released. We've said it on this program a number of times. Let there be a political solution to this matter. So that, you see, first of all, you can reduce the tension. Because when you reduce the tension, you can now initiate dialogue. I think, actually, in 2015, when Buhari came in, some of us were saying, Buhari should go softly on this IPOB matter. Don't take it headlong, because what you're going to do is that you will get into
make a hero out of
what is beyond, you know, that the situation is going to go beyond your control.
Yeah.
But we were ignored. People said, you're this, you're that. And then at the end of the day, what happened? What happened? You went all the way, renditioned him from Kenya, brought him to Nigeria. Have the killing stopped? As the Southeast got better for it?
Yeah.
You travel around the Southeast, you see checkpoints, military checkpoints, you get to Ngbidi Junction, they will tell everybody to alight from vehicle and walk down. Dehumanization of the people. It is even very painful. You tell people to alight and walk down, walk by the military checkpoint, and you see, some of these things need to go. This is 21st century. There are softer approaches to dealing with insurgency, even dealing with crime, dealing with a whole host of issues.
Yeah.
There are softer approaches you can apply so that you make sure that you still draw the people closer. You still keep the people. You don't try to alienate the people. There were some unfortunate remarks too Buhari made in his time, which stirred up a lot of anger. You are saying, you know, I just don't want to go into, because those things are so painful.
Yeah.
And then the point is this: so many people have died. Youths have died. Soldiers have died. Policemen have been killed. So on every side,
yeah.
On every side. So I think we can now say, okay, we've got to a point where we can say, yes, let's find a way to put an end to this thing. Release him. Let there be a political solution.
Yeah.
The courts, the Supreme Court almost got to the point of getting him released. Before Malamina started filing some, the former Attorney General started filing some new charges and all of that. But the point is this: no matter how many charges you file, no matter how long you take this thing, the fact remains that he has become an albatross.
All right. Emeka, quickly, let's talk about the second leg of the story. This sit-at-home wahala. We agreed it has become a loose cannon.
Yes, but you know, IPOB has said, a part of IPOB has said that people should stop observing sit-at-home. But you see, the point is this: when something gets to the street level, and the boys on the street take over that thing, it becomes a problem. Because you don't really know, you're not really sure of who you are dealing with. Who you are dealing with. So, that is why
Governor Mba is climbing a mountain?
Soludo went beyond asking for Nnamdi Kanu's release. He went to see Nnamdi Kanu. He asked Buhari to release Nnamdi Kanu. He said it. Mbazulika Amechi said, release him to me. I will guarantee so. So now, Amechi is dead. Mbazulika Amechi is dead. But we must put an end to this thing. You see, when I see people laughing at it, you Igbos, every Monday, sit at home, blah, 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 blah. Just look at them. I say, remember, there's somebody called the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces who is supposed to secure the society. You're asking me to go and secure the society. Am I the Commander-in-Chief? You see, so all of these things, we're not saying pump weapons and aircraft. We're not saying that. What we're saying is find alternative ways of getting things resolved so that peace can return to the Southeast and people can go about their businesses. So what Governor Mba of Enugu State is doing, yes, he's echoing the sentiments in the Southeast, what people have been saying. Yes, we need for this to be done, and let's do it quickly.
Yeah, quickly, before we move over, sit at home.
Yes, IPOB instituted sit at home in the first place, but the same group that instituted it has said, look, it would only hold on the days that Kano is taken to court. But cultists and other outlaws who have hijacked the struggle, they still insist that sit-at-home must happen every Monday, apart from a state like Ebonyi, where sit-at-home doesn't work. Because I was in Ebonyi for like 6 days, about 3 weeks ago. In other places, people out of fear would rather sit in their homes, because on most of those days, you don't even see policemen on the streets, you know. So I believe that our people do not like that sit-at-home, but out of fear, because there's no guarantee of their security. So they would rather not take the risk. The governor, the governor said, okay, we defer from June 6, no more sit-at-home. But the truth is, in some parts of the state capital, it was obeyed. But in many parts, people chose to ignore the governor because they don't have 2 lives. And they don't have the security that is guaranteed a governor. So they are not taking the risk. If we can protect our people sufficiently, if they see enough security operatives on the roads on those days, they will be happy to go to work. But you can threaten civil servants as much as you like. So Ludo's threatened civil servants, they didn't obey him. They know that life has no duplicate.
Okay then, Mr. President, one more time, congrats, welcome. Our business here is just to mold opinion and leave the decision to you. All right, to our next story. Fireworks at the Presidential Election Petition Court continue with a Labour Party House of Representatives caucus leader, Afam Victor Ogene, faulting the testimony of a witness for Atiku Abubakar before the tribunal. Ogene described the submission of the PDP witness, Ndubuisi Nwobu, as watery, contradictory, and admission of failure by the PDP leadership in Anambra. As far as the LP member is concerned, what happened to the PDP votes at the presidential election was pure magic. Now, let's hear from the governor first. Emeka, these are times that try men's souls, as they say.
Yeah. Well, what can we say other than the fact that the tribunal, the proceedings of the tribunal are going on? What is interesting that the same witness, less than 24 hours after he was reported to have said that, has denied it. He has issued a statement saying he never said such things. That PDP has no case against Obi at the tribunal, that PDP is not challenging Obi. He issued a statement not long ago. He issued a statement denying everything. I was saying,
where is this coming from?
That's the interesting thing. The spokesman for the Atiku Okowa campaign in Anambra State, was the one who came out to say, speak on his behalf, that he has said that, he has declared that he never said such things at the tribunal. Because it would have been very interesting to ask how. I'm from Anambra State. We know the local politics of Anambra State. We know, yes, PDP has been on ground, has been in control since 1999, but certain things happened along the line. PDP even had been fighting itself from 1999, different factions fighting themselves and all that. So it was just a matter of time before
Abga came into the picture.
Even if Abga was not in the picture, PDP would have thrown PDP out of Anambra. It was just a matter of time.
Really?
Yes. It was just a matter of time. So when you keep undermining your own party in your state, keep undermining your party. The governor is from Anambra South. Ifeanyi Uba won in 2019. The senatorial won in 2019. Ifeanyi Uba won again in 2023. And the governor is from Anambra South. And you look at all those things. There was no way, it was just a matter of time. Look at all the PDP senators are out now. It was just a matter of time that PDP would have cancelled PDP.
Bandits have out.
Of course. And that is what has happened. Because you see a lot of the people, some of the people who won were actually people who used to be in PDP.
That defected. Okay. Jide is not surprised either.
Yeah, what he said was that magic happened to Atiku's votes. Of course, it is not true that they are not challenging PDP. It's not true.
You mean that Labour
PDP
Party
is not challenging Labour? It's not true now. Even in Nasarawa State, the PDP witness came out to say that Obi didn't win Nasarawa State. So they are in a court to cancel each other out. As you are gunning for the votes that APC garnered, the two other parties are also gunning for each other's votes. And that's what he said, that, that the magic happened to the votes scored by the PDP. Now, what my friend Alpha Morgan is saying is, but the Form EC8, on which results are written, had the signatures of the agents. So if those results were disputed, how come
the signatures
were there? Because there's no way to argue that if the result sheet is the primary evidence.
Yeah.
And if the primary evidence shows that the agents signed,
yeah,
what is
it's
it?
Authentic.
What are you going to say again? So what he's trying to say is that the percentage of votes that Obi scored in Anambra was scary and unbelievable. Obi, I was looking at the votes. Obi thoroughly dealt with the other parties in Anambra.
The results there.
Yes, on the results, let me see. Obi scored 584,621 votes. Atiku scored 9,036. Tinubu scored 5,111 votes.
Yeah.
So between the two challengers of Obi, they couldn't even score up to 16,000, whereas somebody scored 584,621 votes. I can understand why he had to quickly take back what he said, because that's the home state of the presidential candidate of Labour Party. And just as Ogene said, the people rose in a wave to vote for their son. You know, politics is local. This is where this person comes from.
Yeah.
You expect that you will perform overwhelmingly well in that state. We knew. And even when we were analyzing the election, before the election, we were analyzing, I said it that Obi would thoroughly dominate the election in the East, scoring over 90% in those states. That is what we have seen. Whatever Obi turns up with in the East, can't steer any argument from my end, because I expected it. And I knew...
the son of the soil.
Yes, and even people in rival parties, a good number of them still voted for him.
Yes. The Ebonyi governor, Umahi, said his wife and children voted for Obi.
So he even said, before the election, he said that, look, the voice that the Igbos wanted, let me pronounce them Igbo properly. The voice that the Igbos wanted, Obi gave them. So it became such a rallying point that if you want to commit political suicide, then you go public and start abusing Peter Obi, especially if you are contesting. Some of the people who were to contest senatorial and other elections who abused Obi some weeks to the election.
Yes, Uche Kunife, for instance.
I didn't want to mention them.
That was my senator. Yes, of course.
They paid a huge price. So this is the thing. The man won his thing, but he has the right to go and challenge him. But at the end of the day, you must provide proof that indeed there were infractions. And from what we have seen, if you said people signed, so what else? What is the point that you are making? What do you want to say to us?
So this is the season.
Yes, and it couldn't have been in all the polling centers. Couldn't have been. He said across the state, the magic happened to Atiku's votes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the PDP that ought to have rewarded the Southeast for long, for the loyalty of the people of the Southeast to the PDP.
Since 1999.
They never felt that the Southeast needed to be placated, needed to be rewarded. So it was payback time. This is the first time that the people said, okay, we'll pay the PDP back in their coins. So the poor performance of the PDP in the Southeast and in Kano were things that I expected.
Forgone.
Yes, I expected. Look at the way they failed in Kano. So they just got a patchy quantity of votes was what they got. Imagine even the APC leading PDP in Kano with hundreds of thousands. They've never had it that smooth between the two major parties. How can you lead your rival, your number one rival, lead him with more than 400,000 votes? I mean, it says a lot about the lack of strength of the PDP in the Southeast and in Kano.
Yeah. Okay then. Little wonder the late Napoleon Bonaparte said, in politics, stupidity is not a handicap. All right, let's go to our next story. Judicial officers in the country might be in for some good times. President Bola Tinubu has signed his first piece of legislation, thereby bringing uniformity to the retirement age and pension rights of the officers. As it is, judicial officers are now to enjoy the same benefits and emoluments enjoyed by their related colleagues. The new helmsman, while signing the amendment bill into law, pledged his administration's dedication to strengthening the judiciary, ensuring the rule of law, and empowering judicial officers to execute their responsibilities effectively. Now, the first stroke is half the battle, they say. But then, let's go on a commercial break. We should be back.
Home from work, in the busy traffic, your car breaks down. Car horns blast. Your car is pushed aside. You call for help. Phone battery blinks and dies. You take a cab. Few miles, tire bursts. What a day. Frustrated, sweating, and tired. Nearing home, darkness envelops the street. Wow! Just one house is bubbling with life. Brilliant lights, loud music, smiling wife, all welcome you.
We alone have light?
Yes, it's JRB Solar Energy Systems, my anniversary present to us.
No matter how dark life is, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. JRB, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do.
New beginnings are always colorful. When we celebrate the start of life's journey, we marry in colors. With our proudly Nigerian Dulux paints, now available in any color. Express your world however you want it. Visit a Dulux color center to get any color instantly.
Dulux, let's color. Get ready for an inspiring journey into the world of Nigerian media and the life of one of its brightest stars. Introducing Becoming the Queen of Talk TV, the highly anticipated debut book from Moriah Afolabi Brown, the host of Nigeria's #1 breakfast show, Your View. With over 2,300 episodes of Your View under her belt, Moriah is known as the Nigerian Queen of Talk. Her passion for speaking up for women has made her an influential figure in the media industry, both locally and internationally. In her first published book, Moriah takes readers on a journey through her remarkable career, chronicling her life story and swift rise to success. Mark your calendars for June 2023, when this one-of-a-kind book will be unveiled to the world.
All right, Emeka. So judicial officers have the good times. They are here.
Yeah, it's been long expected that the judiciary should be given independence. The judiciary should be given its pride of place. So that if we're talking about
incentivized,
yes, if we're talking of an independent judiciary, if we are saying that judges should be impartial, they should be above board. They, like Caesar's wife, should be above board. They should be above reproach. Their judgments should be such that we can find we don't find corruptibility in those judgments. I mean, there was a book that was so popular with the secondary school, The Incorruptible Judge.
Yeah.
Can't forget that book. I read that book very clearly, and it was one of the books that actually helped me in life in terms of molding values. So it's a good one. It's a good one. But that this thing came at this time, it's a number of things happened towards the end of Buhari's tenure. But well, we're happy.
Sometimes you wonder.
Yes.
Wonder if there's a wrong time to do a good thing, and the other way.
There can be a wrong time to do a good thing, because don't forget when DSS raided judges' quarters.
Yeah, the reported sting operation.
Yes, the sting operations. And people were saying that, okay, look at the salaries of judges, even Supreme Court justices. Why not do something about their salaries, their emoluments, their conditions of service? So that if you have to now take steps against any perceived acts of corruption, then you will be operating on you will be operating on the premise that truly these people, yes.
It's also talked about the tools of trade for the judges.
A lot of things. Judges still record, they still writing in longhand and all of those things. I thought by now we should have gone beyond some of those things. Judges should be given their pride of place.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that before the last administration left, that it was one of the bills, for the amendment of the 1999 Constitution, the last amendment, was one of the bills that was signed by President Buhari before he left. And so this consequential act was signed by President Tinubu. Yes, it's good. I think also the states should do their own.
Yeah.
States should do their own. Because part of the alteration was actually independence for the judiciary, financial independence for the judiciary, financial independence for the state assembly. I remember the former governor of a state.
For local government.
The former governor of a state, I won't mention the state, who was saying, no, that, right in front of, he visited Georgia, there was something he went to do with judges. And he was saying, no, that the judiciary doesn't need financial independence. That anything they want, they should come and ask us. We'll get it for them. I was shocked. I said, the governor, this man, people think, should know better. Why is he talking this way? But I'm happy that...
Even though he swore to uphold the Constitution.
That is it. So I hope the states, too, will follow up. So that the specter of poverty hanging around judges, magistrates, area judges and all of that will be pushed away. So that these people, these respected officers of the law, can perform well.
JD would admit that how we treat our judges will go a long way in giving us the kind of judiciary we have in society, how we treat them.
Yes, I am against the dichotomy that this law, unifying the retirement age of judicial officers, has created. I am also against the fact that magistrates are not even seen as judicial officers. Magistrates, this law now ensures that all states' high courts, Sharia Court of Appeal, the Customary Court of Appeal, Federal High Court, FCT High Court, the National Industrial Court have joined the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court in having their retirement age pegged at 70. The magistrate court is still 60, the magistrate court. And magistrate courts actually do much more work than judges
the higher court, really?
in other courts. They are the ones who handle the very common offenses, assault, stealing, malicious damage, illegal entry, affray, manslaughter, traffic offenses, and even environmental offenses, and offenses like, okay, you took, you borrow money from me, 5 million.
You have not paid.
And you've not paid. Nobody would take something as little as that to the High Court or Federal High Court. It is still these guys who handle such cases. Now, we didn't think that
we should capture them.
We should also include them. I hope and pray that in future, because in the first place, it was only the appeal court judges and the Supreme Court judges that were accommodated in the first time it was moved to 70 years.
Of age,
Now we've seen High Court judges, Federal High Court judges, Customary Court of Appeal judges join them. You know, the so-called courts of record, they are now accommodated. So somebody needs to look at the magistrate courts, the burden of work that these guys are saddled with, and the fact that what is the qualification, the primary qualification of a judge. You have to be a lawyer by training. They have that training as well. But
that's the magistrate.
Yes, they have that training. They do so much work. You know, it's just like you are talking about in the police. You know, we still have this dichotomy, whereby traffic officers, those traffic officers never get to become CP, never get to become IG.
There's a career pattern.
Yes, but they get stunted at some point. It's the new police act now. For example, even a woman cannot become IG. The new police act, because we've been using the police act that we inherited from our colonial masters. The new police act has now ensured that dichotomy that ensures that a woman cannot rise to become IG is taken off the books. So that, and then this idea of, oh, Emeka offended me, but he's not at home, but his wife is at home. Okay, make her grab the wife. All of those things removed from the police, the new police act, so that we know that if he offends me, I cannot go and arrest his relations. I have to wait. I can only arrest them after I have arrested them. If he is a party to the offense, if they are, if he's a party to the offense, I will only arrest them after I have arrested him. So I believe that our laws, we have to constantly look at our laws. Look at the 1999 Constitution, even as amended. There is still a lot of gaps. There are still many things. The controversy over Abuja now, for example, is needless. The people who frame the Constitution, they are not perfect. But no one would write a Constitution and imagine that a very tiny part of our country will assume what looks like a larger-than-life stature,
Yeah.
whereby if you do not win from there, the needless argument that we have now over a very small portion of our country.
Yeah.
I think in the framing of the Constitution, mistakes were made, and those mistakes we have to constantly
Review them.
review them. These judges, I feel for magistrate court judges, given how much work they do, I believe that in future we should be able to come up with what accommodates them. I thank the president that, yes, one of the bills, one of the last set of bills before Mr. President, he has given, the former president,
Yeah.
he has given his assent. I think we still have the NYC one that we talked about here. That one too has not received assent. So hopefully President Tinubu will look at some of those bills and then do something on them. If some of them need to be returned, for them to be rejigged,
Yeah.
the executive reserves the right to spot those missing links and ask for them.
These things are necessary, especially at a time we're trying to retool the country.
Yes, honestly, and we need to get everyone on board, make everyone see Nigeria as their country, make everyone be in position to give his best.
Yeah, have a sense of belonging.
Yes, that's, look at the dichotomy, the NC, the HND.
BSc.
We've been talking about it for so long. How long will it take to address this problem? And these people are still suffering as a result of it. Some people are stunted in the civil service on account of it. How long will it take to address all of this? And the bill is there. The bill has already been passed. So there are a number of those bills that the executive has to look at and take appropriate steps.
All right. Okay then, at least there's a common saying, man was not made for the law was made for man. All right, to our last story. You know, for our 16th commander-in-chief, having a harmonious legislature is essential to having the country of our collective dream. President Tinubu met yesterday with senators and members-elect across different parties in the country and urged them to work together to choose good leaders for both chambers ahead of the inauguration on June 13th. In the meeting held behind closed doors, the number one citizen remarked that it was imperative for them to eschew partisanship in the discharge of their duties. That's the way to go.
Yes, citizen, and I like the way he spoke. He spoke in a very presidential manner. People thought he would use the occasion to say, oh, these are my candidates, please. I want these people to become presiding officers in the National Assembly. He didn't mention that. It was one of the guys.
Did he disappoint many people?
One of the guys who was there, one of the APC guys said, Mr. President lost an opportunity to... But I said, but it's not you people alone that are there. You don't expect him. He's addressing you people as president of Nigeria, not as president of a party. So he was deliberate in not talking about that. He can, at the level of caucus meeting, he can still call some of you and speak with you, but to go to a general meeting and expect him to be canvassing for particular, in fact, he made the point that, look, vote for your people, your own leaders, vote your own leaders.
It is your show.
Yes, vote your own leaders. It doesn't mean that behind the scene he will not make moves to ensure that his preferred candidates sail through. But he knows that it's not that kind of event that you go. That was his first meeting, for God's sake, with the lawmakers. You don't go there and start campaigning for some individuals. So, and he said, look, let us work together. We are members of the same family. We are living, he used the analogy, we're living in the same house, but in different rooms. So those political parties represent
the different rooms.
The different rooms. And I think there was a Labour Party member that was really impressed. I said,
yes, from Abia State.
Yes, that the way this man used to speak during the campaigns was not the way he spoke.
This is a different man I'm saying today.
Yes. What people fail to realize was that the way the man was flogging his body during the campaigns, would definitely take a toll. This time around is much more relaxed. Those errors that people feasted upon on social media, Bala Blue and the rest, they are gone. When was the last time? So it's not even giving the social media people copies anymore.
Yeah.
All those sound bites that they were feasting on, they are gone. The man, when he speaks now, he's speaking like a completely different person.
Yeah.
You know, you can almost not believe your ears.
Now he's president commander-in-chief.
Yes, and the benefit of sufficient rest. You know, as you were doing the campaigns, we'll be ready to do three states in one day and see scheduled meetings right up to 2 a.m. Even we that were younger, by far, we can't put our bodies through that kind of stress.
That is flogging the body.
Yeah, excessive flogging. You know, no man is a horse now. You know, it's a horse that these jockeys flog every second so that the horse must win the race. You know, you can't do that. You know,
a cynic said horsepower was safe when only horses were using it. But these days, machines and everybody uses a horsepower.
So the important thing is he spoke, he asked for support, and he tried to rally everyone. The Nigerian cause, let's work hard to ensure he's not speaking like, look at when he spoke to the governors about poverty. You know, he had this meeting with the Texas governor. He said, we have to realize that there is so much poverty in the land. So much poverty, we are in government to address it. And I'm happy, even in the heat of this whole minimum wage palaver, Ashwaju was the first to come out to say, look, the salary, the minimum wage is unrealistic. We have to come up with a new minimum wage that matches the realities on ground.
Maybe taking the rug from the feet of labor.
Yes, before they even asked for it, before TUC asked for 200,000 a month, he already said, look, let us work towards it. Let's go and think of what we can do. And that's why some people are already say, this man, is this the same person that we are seeing, you know, fumbling through his speeches during the campaign? And this is a different man. You know, calmer, not reading from any text, but just speaking of the core and making sense. That's the value. People must realize the value of sufficient rest.
Resting the brain.
Because, yes, because I can see it in him. That benefit of sufficient rest is showing. And when you get into Aso Rock, all of the hangers on that used to disturb you and deny you sleep, when you get into Aso Rock, if your name is not dropped at the gate, you can't see the man. It's much more difficult, and then he and his wife can afford themselves a lot more time than Nigerians previously afforded them.
Okay, then, there's a report about this, Emeka, before I come to you. So let's share this report with you regarding the subject matter. Please watch on.
President Bola Tinubu's Thursday meeting with all newly elected members of the National Assembly remains one of the most topical issues in the polity. Politicians that will constitute the 10th National Assembly across 8 political parties attended the historic meeting. The sole agenda was the need for a rancor-free parliament and a harmonious working relationship between the executive and the legislature. President Bola Tinubu's appeal to the legislators was to support the choice of All Progressives Congress for the 4 presiding offices. At the end of the meeting, the Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kalu Coordinating Group, TBK, applauded Mr. President and all members-elect for the interface. It described the meeting as a game-changer in the presiding offices contest, as it is expected to bring about a positive outcome next Tuesday at the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly. It calls on all members of the 10th House of Representatives to hearken to President Bola Tinubu's clarion call.
He appealed to other parties. He spoke like he wasn't even presidential. It was like a fatherly appeal. He described
the parliamentarians in that room, like all of us coming from the same mother, but living in 36 different rooms representing the 36 states, but with a common agenda. And he appealed to every lawmaker to join him without compromising the independence and the constitutional responsibility of the parliament to elect a credible leadership that will help to ensure that the necessary legislations are enacted for good governance of the republic.
The group is also elated about the recent adoption of the APC nominees by more of the geopolitical zones. It says more than 35 members-elect from the southeast have adopted Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kalu.
The lawmakers, about 67 of them that makes up the Northeast caucus, 57 of them were in attendance in the endorsement of Abbas and Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kalu as the preferred candidates for Speaker and Deputy Speaker. And as I speak to you now also, the Southeast caucus, presently in Treasure Hotel, is meeting where majority have also gathered to endorse Abbas and Abbas and Benjamin Kalu as their own consensus candidates. As you can see, over 60% of the zonal caucuses have endorsed them.
It is the first time a sitting president will meet with lawmakers elect from the opposition political parties in a bid to get their buy-in into the ruling party's nominees for the presiding offices of the National Assembly. The outcome of Tuesday's election will show how well the lawmakers elect assimilated President Bola Tinubu's appeal. Joke Adsa, TVC News, Abuja.
Emeka, so having a vibrant legislature is key in this retooling exercise I talked about.
Yeah.
So what's unfolding is not surprising.
Of course, you need to have a harmonious relationship between the executive and the legislature to enable the process to move, the process of governance to move smoothly. There are a lot of issues, you know. Primarily, there's so much poverty in the land. People are hungry, people cannot eat, people cannot pay house rent. A lot of things are just wrong. So definitely it's not just about earning big allowances and all of that, big salaries. But they must work, this National Assembly must work to make sure that a lot of things are turned around in the country. And that's why there must be harmony. And then I also hope that the governors of the states are watching this cordiality.
Yeah.
So that we don't look at what is happening in Nasarawa State. 2 speakers in a state.
Needlessly.
Needless.
It's governors that are causing
needless things. Yes. So
why do you want to impose your person?
The same governors who are now telling you that, okay, we support so and so person for speaker, for Senate president, speaker, in their own states.
Emeka,
not in many of their states. All is not well.
The governor is an executive, but why does the governor not allow a state legislature to run its own life?
Because they are not secure. How many of these governors, the way some of them even got their tickets, the way some of them even got in,
so
they stepped on toes,
of the unknown?
They cheated some people.
Afraid of their shadows.
They disappointed people. So they are afraid of their shadows. But not all governors are. There are governors who are really having it
fashionable and so.
Yes, because they are friendly. So it is good for the president, you know, to the way he has started relating with the members of the National Assembly, because there will be fights. There will be quite. Don't think that it will just be all smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Anything that has to do with the welfare of these people in National Assembly, then you will know how very combative they can be. But also there are things that need to be sorted out so that the famed dividends of democracy can get to every Nigerian. There are laws, like Jide said, there are laws that...
Because it is possible.
Yes, it is possible. We're even talking about the federal level. If we come down to the states, there are responsibilities that the states ought to have taken over. We are talking of law. Like I was saying before the program, we have sufficient laws in Nigeria that can propel serious governors to make a difference in their states. But what are they waiting for? They're waiting for Abuja.
Not too many Nigerians realize that the president cannot sign a death warrant. Only governors can. You know, that's what the law says. So a governor is as powerful as the center.
Yeah, that is it. So it's just there should be harmony. Also, in terms of electing their leaders, I hope that there will be that things will move smoothly, so that
they should at least use the power that they have. A governor will never be as powerful as the man in the center, but at least even the powers that they have, let them use the powers that they have.
Yeah.
The powers that they have are enough to make good things happen. Let them use the powers that they have. A lot of the governors are too lazy to think out of the box about how to generate money, for example. You know, because you know there's this distributable revenue from the center. Oh, let's go and queue up. States that are so rich in mineral resources, allowing such mineral resources to waste away. What are you doing? What are you doing? You need to be given the initiative to do what you have been elected to do. It makes no sense. So all this desire to put the House of Assembly in their pockets. You saw what the governor of Edo did.
Yeah.
Just because he wanted control of the House, he made a generation of lawmakers to suffer.
About 14 of them.
Yeah. From proclamation in the dead of night. Some of them got to the assembly in boxer shorts. Come on. Now in this case, look at the rubbish happening in Nasarawa. One speaker had 13 votes. The other one that the governor is supporting had about, I think, 10 votes or something.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
them? The governor wanted
them?
him to...
And of course, the person that the governor is not supporting had more votes than the governor's candidate. The executive shouldn't be getting involved in how these houses pick their speakers. That's meddlesomeness. You don't have to get involved. But you know, what they want is the house permanently in their pocket, so that anything that they want, whether they want to collect some loans that are not necessary, with their friend as the speaker, the house will agree. You know? And all of those approvals or even appointments, this and that, the house must always agree.
I wonder if you have, Emeka, I wonder if you have heard this too. In America, they say the opposite of progress is Congress, if you understand what I'm saying. So, reverse order.
And then with the other, I thought you will continue it. You will continue.
If you know,
Congress is what? A gathering of what?
Maybe Jide never know.
No, I don't understand.
No.
People's lingo.
They say the opposite.
I don't understand this lingo.
No, hold on. They say the opposite of progress is Congress. And the man say, you mean Congress?
Congress.
To deceive people.
Congress. And then a gathering of a type of animals. It's called... It's called...
Is it the baboons?
I don't know. Kangaroos.
Okay.
All right. I hear this is where we rest anchor, but not before thanking Jide for welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you,
Emeka.
Thank you very much.
So the show ends there.
Is this how you leave me again today?
No. Did we have any agreement?
Okay.
No. So long as you don't go to court.
We've always had agreements that you always think you are not obligated to honor.
Let it be last Friday.
Okay.
Remind me.
I will start counting days now.
So that's it. If you missed any part of this show, join us at 11 later tonight for our repeat broadcast. But on Sunday, we expand the field, as always, for you from 1:30 to 3:30. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now.
Following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Do you spend the night trying to get comfortable? Your knees rub bone on bone, your back and hips ache. You wake up in pain? Not anymore. ShopX TV is proud to introduce the Contour Legacy Pillow, the patented, ergonomically designed tapered leg pillow that naturally fits the contours of your legs, knees and thighs to help align your spine and alleviate pain. Watch, when you sleep on your side, your leg falls forward, twisting your pelvis and lower back, putting pressure on your spine, hip and sciatic. But the Contour Legacy Pillow cushions your knees and cradles your legs, relieving stress on joints while restoring your lower back alignment. Sleeping on your side, your leg comes over and puts you out of alignment, causing lower back pain, hip pain, even knee pain. By using the Contour Legacy Pillow, it restores the natural alignment of the spine, helping to alleviate pain and pressure, leading to much more restful sleep. Old-fashioned leg pillows are bulky, but the anatomical design of the Legacy Pillow fits perfectly the shape of your body the way nature intended. You can even use two together for full leg alignment. Legacy Pillow is exclusively ventilated, so it always stays cool and dry. With top crescent design, it cuddles up to you perfectly and easily moves with you. Ordinary pillows go flat, but the Legacy Pillow is made up of soft memory foam, so it never loses its shape and the cover is machine washable. The Contour Legacy Pillow is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 500,000 naira for an orthopedic bed that doesn't properly support your spine. But call the number on your screen now and get 2 Legacy leg pillows for just 69,900 naira. And get relief from back and hip issues. But wait, if you call now, we'll upgrade you to the Contour Better Sleep Collection. The collection comes with 2 Contour Legacy leg pillows and 2 Contour Cool Gel head pillows at no extra charge. The Contour Cool Gel head pillows' soothing orthopedic support will cradle your head and neck for full alignment, while keeping you cool all through the night for the best sleep of your life. Incredible! That's 2 Contour Legacy pillows and 2 Cool Gel head pillows for just 69,900 naira. And that's not all. Place your order now and we'll also deliver your Contour Better Sleep collection with no shipping charge. But hurry! This is an exclusive ShopX TV offer and only available for a limited period. So, call now while stock lasts. Your rest is your wealth.
The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every week, Green Angle, in partnership with Wild Aid, will bring you a documentary series on environmental issues affecting Nigeria's amazing biodiversity, from climate change, air pollution and wildlife conservation. We will be traveling across Nigeria to give you on-the-ground report of the issues affecting our environment. It airs every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
It is day 11 of President Bola Tinubu's presidency. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Abosedi Adeniran. You can join the conversation now on Twitter using the hashtag #First100Days to tag at TVC News NG. Today, President Bola Tinubu met with the National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria as part of their custom to felicitate the country's leaders whenever there is a change of leadership. The Sultan of Sokoto and the Oni of Ife, who are both co-chairs of the Council of Traditional Rulers, assured President Tinubu of their full support and commitment to ensure his administration succeeds. They acknowledged that President Tinubu emerged at a very difficult time in Nigeria's history, but that he has shown capacity and competence required to lead the country. The traditional rulers offered to help the government in achieving the goals of the administration.
And we will continue in ways that will help you. We are all heirs. We are ready to listen. Any given time, I promise you an open door policy. And that is the way I will go. That open door policy is for you to call me, send to me. Any given time or any concern that you might have. We may not have it right 100% of the time, but we must get it right 90% of the time for this.
Well, President Bola Tinubu, during his speech to the traditional rulers, said despite the hike in the price of petrol, sooner or later, it will reduce as the federal government is doing everything possible to cushion the effect.
That's what's going to bring Nigeria to a scale is the subsidy. A country that cannot pay salary